Metaverse. In simple words, if you have heard of the term metaverse, but you have no clue what it is, you are in the right place. If you have heard about metaverse, and either believe it's crazy, or believe it's really cool, you are also in the right place. We'll give you the basics of what metaverse is, and why it has a very high potential to fit into the future of our everyday life. We'll also cover the serious problems metaverse poses to what we consider as our normal life today. We've tried our best to take a balanced approach and stay focused on the technology and its impact on the society as much as we can. A lot of people are not really clear what metaverse is all about. It's the buzzword in the internet world, and many saw Zuckerberg's video about his own plans with his company, Meta, and rushed to judgment. That's what the metaverse is all about. Actually, believe it or not, Zuckerberg is not the first to come up with creating the metaverse. In fact, he may or may not be successful in the field of metaverse, because there are competing metaverses that are already well known to those who have been curious enough to follow. Let me add a word of caution here. The whole metaverse is still evolving, and there's no clear boundary what metaverse really is, or what it will be in the future. We've tried our best to separate the hype from the reality. Let's dive into the details. You can look at metaverse as an extension of virtual reality, VR, or augmented reality, AR, that have been in existence for quite a few years now. As the name implies, metaverse is an alternate universe. In other words, metaverse wants to give you an experience of a different world that is not physical. Sounds scary, as well as interesting, doesn't it? Virtual reality has been in use for playing games for a while. There have been significant improvements in the last few years, where the whole experience is felt by wearing a self-contained headset. You can create an avatar in most of these games. VR, AR, along with mixed reality, MR, and extended reality, XR, have produced so many real-life games, where you, or the virtual you, participate inside a 3D environment. In order to completely immerse yourself into the VR world, you wear a headset, and forget what your real surroundings are, so that you feel that you are inside the game. Nobody can deny the adrenaline rush you experience when you are inside the high-paced racing or boxing game based on virtual reality. A lot of times, you take the game too seriously, and even develop personal likes and dislikes for certain opponents within the game. There is always an avatar of yourself in the game, which is usually a cartoon character, and it can walk, run, jump, touch, and even talk with other avatars. The other avatars can be players like you, or computer-generated characters. Now that you understand virtual reality, you realize metaverse is not a brand new thing, or even crazy, but just an enhancement of virtual reality and related technologies, which we have come to experience using many devices, like Oculus, Sony, HTC, etc. How does metaverse differ from virtual reality? Metaverse is a whole universe of shared virtual spaces, and they are all some way connected with each other. You can move from one space to another, like playing a game, attending an office meeting, and learning something new, spending time with your friends, watch a concert, all within a single virtual ecosystem. The whole enhancement of the metaverse is to give an experience of teleportation of the user. Many of us heard the buzz on metaverse, mainly from Mark Zuckerberg's presentation, about the future of his company, Meta, and what they are planning to do with his metaverse. Let's focus on what are the major features that are expected to be part of metaverse, irrespective of who dominates it. Apart from playing games, or taking virtual vacations in exotic locations, there are a bunch of new proposals that will be added to the metaverse to augment the VR of today. You can look at metaverse as a platform, where several applications will exist in the future. If a parallel has to be drawn, metaverse is like the mobile platforms provided by Apple and Google. Their mobile operating systems Android and iOS, have Play Store and App Store, where they decide on which apps will be part of their store or platforms. Of course, the company that creates the Metaverse platform can exercise their control on which application goes in, and which doesn't go in, to their own Metaverse. We know Facebook was renamed and rebranded as Meta, in an effort to project themselves as the leader in the field of Metaverse. Does Facebook, Meta, dominate this Metaverse space? Far from it. There are several Metaverses that will be competing in the market, from major companies like Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon and of course, Meta, apart from other players like OpenSea, Nvidia, Virtuleap, etc. Ultimately, the popularity of any of these metaverses depend on the apps that appeal to the users. Meta has clear plans to dominate this space, but their eventual success is no way guaranteed. Zuckerberg has decided to put his money behind this idea. His plan is to develop a bunch of apps and an initial ecosystem, create technology that enhances the user experience, provide subsidized headsets, stifle competition, give a big marketing push, and create a buzz. None of this can guarantee success for Meta. Ask Google why their Google Glasses failed despite trying every marketing trick in the playbook. Let's look at why Metaverse created so much of attention. The most important feature of Metaverse is teleportation. Okay, not a real one, but a virtual feeling. Imagine you can go to virtual meetings, where you actually feel that you are in the midst of a real meeting. Or to a Metaverse beach, where you feel the wind blowing, or being in a park, with your best buddy, who actually resides 9,000 miles away. It can also create a new you, which can be a lot more capable than the real you. Maybe you never liked the long nose, or your curly hair. Now, you can change the look of yours, or wear the most fashionable clothes, and give a boost to your image. You may say it already exists, but usually, the avatars of today are more cartoonish than real, whereas in Metaverse, it's going to feel very much real. You can shop, go on tropical vacations, fly in the air, or dance, all within the comfort of your own home. You can have a new experience with learning, by actually touching and feeling the rocks on the moon, swim at the depths of the ocean, or peer through the subatomic particles in the Metaverse. If you are impressed with text-to-speech and other AI technology of today, Metaverse will take it to the next level, where you need to just think, and the contents will appear on the screen, and your request will be processed. Are you impressed? I'm sure you are. We don't know if all of them will become a reality, especially the last one, but the technology of today lends credence to the other ideas of being very real possibilities. And some will be interested in knowing if you can make money in Metaverse. The answer is yes, though we are really at a very early stage in this concept, and hence the risk is very high as well. The idea may sound really incredible, when people are vying to buy virtual land on a virtual universe. But there are increasing number of investors on Metaverse too. Just like real property, even in Metaverse, the value of the real estate depends on which Metaverse you are buying on, and where the land is located within that Metaverse. For example, the Sandbox, Decentraland, Axie Infinity are some of the Metaverses, where virtual land have sold for high price. We'll do a separate video on the reasons why somebody would put real money, millions of dollars, on virtual land. Well, if you think how will you pay for them, and ensure nobody else can claim your digital property, then obviously the cryptocurrencies and blockchains come into play. If everything is so good at Metaverse, is everyone loving it? No, not at all. The problems that Metaverse creates will make a long list. If you thought people are already lacking social interaction, due to Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, etc., it may get much worse with Metaverse. The next challenge is, people are likely to become addicted to the Metaverse, so that they can do fantastic things, and visit exotic places in virtual world. When your reality is not very pleasant, why would you want to leave the metaverse? Well, when they end up returning to the real world, most likely, people are going to go through depression, to face the less appealing reality surrounding them. If you thought you have no privacy in today's world, things are going to be a lot worse, especially if your avatar is hacked. In Metaverse, online bullying and harassment are likely to be much worse. And to add insult to injury, the real identity of the criminals may never be known. Not to mention, political and social conversations can be veered to extremes, and this can create a lot more friction between people. Though there's a lot of interest, the internet technology, including 5G, is nowhere near what's needed to have a true experience of the metaverse. However, one of the leading crypto asset managers, Grayscale, estimates Metaverse is $1 trillion opportunity. There are already leading fashion brands, who are planning to start shops in select metaverses. It'll be insane for any established retailer, not to showcase their products, in the virtual world. We can say, despite some of the really scary predictions, and destructive possibilities, Metaverse is gaining a lot of traction, and is very likely be part of our life in some form or another, in a few years. I hope it does more good than bad. Thanks for watching.